Okay, but this is all possible only if you are making a use of a tool. So if you do not use a tool, all these details will not be maintained, because if you're doing it manually, there is no such record that what type of backup you have done, or when did you start, or when did you stop. But it will be happening if it is done automatically, or by using some software, or by executing some commands. Okay, so whenever if I want to check that last backup, at what time did I took, when did I took, what all was backed up, and what type of backed up it was, so I can always go or enter into this logging backup activity and check all the details. Okay, the next is something called as archiving. Now, what did we saw up till now was what is backup. That is, as it is, if I have 5 files, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I take a backup, all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with how much ever data is there inside it is copied as it is. Now, where it is copied, I may copy it from C to D or D to E, like somewhere like this, or I may copy it into my pen drive or into my external hard disk. So copy as it is, copy is being made. So we call it as replication, or we call it as mirroring. But now what is archiving? Archiving means what? You're moving some data which is never being used, or which is a inactive kind of a data. Suppose if I have a file of my ex-employees working who had worked in the organization. Now, if at all I have any query, at that time only I will remove those files and check for the query. But if at all I have no query with respect to that employee, will I always keep on checking that data of that employee? No. Why? Because first, he has left the organization. Second, there was no query with respect to that person. So I will pack his all files, whatever data he has, and I will store it into some location. Why? Because it is not going to be used very frequently. And I call that type of a data as inactive data. It will be activated whenever there is, with respect to some, I have to make any changes, or I have to update anything with respect to that file. Only at that time it will become active. But for major of the time, it will always remain inactive. So such kind of a data which I am moving and I'm not going to use it in my future is considered to be as a archived data. Okay, so if you understand the difference between backup and archive, what is backup? You can use that backup anytime, every now and then. But if it is archived, you are going to take a backup of all such data which you are never going to be used, or which will not be used by you very frequently. Okay, such kind of data is called as archiving. So data archiving is a process of moving a data that is no longer actively used. No longer actively used means it is not going to be used that frequently as compared to the backup data. Therefore, you call it as the data as an archived data. Okay. So an archive is an inactive information which is no longer being used. It can be in any format, and it will be always stored securely for a long period of time. Okay, so this does it, if you're archiving a data, this doesn't mean that there won't be any security. The security that you give to the backup can be given same security to your archive data also. But the only difference between both is that the one is active data and one is inactive data, which will never be used. Again, you can take a backup of any kind of files and folders. Similarly, you can take an archive of any kind of a file and any kind of a folder with any format or any extension. There is no restrictions in both. Okay. Now we generally call this archive data as repository. Now what is repository? It is a central place where each and every data is collected together and it is organized in a very proper manner. So even if it is going to be used sometime in a future, and whenever I extract it, I will always get it in an organized format. So whenever I archive a data, that data will be archived in a very organized way in a place which is called as repository, so that when in case in future, even if it is required and whenever the system tries to extract it, it will be retrieved in an organized format only. Okay, so though it is not only that your backup data is repository, that means it is in the organized way, your archive data can also be stored in an organized way. And how do we keep those data organized? By storing it into a repository. Okay. Now what is it? It can include a simple list of files organized under any directory or any catalog structure. That means any type of a file with any kind of a structure can be archived. There is no restrictions. You can have any file with any format, any structure. Everything can be stored inside the archive format. Let it be a directories if it is Linux, let it be a files, folders, of a Windows, everything can be archived. Okay, that is what is archiving. Now, what is the difference between a backup and archiving? Backup are copies of data which are stored for a purpose of recovery in case of corruption. That means what is happening? I have made a backup of my files into some drive. If my previous original drive has lost, what will I do? I want that data. So I will copy it from the backup drive to the original drive. So I'm going to use that data somewhere very frequently in my future. That is what is backup. But what is the same case in archive? I may not restore that data. Why I will not restore or not recover the data? Because if I do not require it, I will not unnecessarily restore that and waste the space of my system. Okay. So whenever you take a backup, there is always need of recovering it. But whenever you archive the data, there is not always a need to recover or restore it. Okay. These copies are typically created using replication or mirroring and are updated as files keeps on changing. Now, what is another thing of a backup? If I've created a file of, say, suppose SYCO, where I had initially 60 data of 60 students, then the direct second year students got included. So I have to update that file. So what is happening? A backup file, whenever you create, you always have to update that file and store the backup of that updated file also. But the same scenario does not apply to your archive data. Why? Because archive is what? It has been created once and it will never be changed every now and then with that frequency as compared to that of your backup. What is happening in a backup? Every line that you write has to be backed up. But that is not the case with your archive. Why? Because you make a frequent updates in your backup. You do not make frequent update if it is your archive. Okay, it is a short-term storage that needs to perform well enough to restore the data quickly. It is a short-term storage. Why it is short-term storage? Because today you're making a file. Many people have a habit of taking a backup daily on a same file or maybe on different files. So if I prefer taking a daily backup, what will I do? I will create a file TYCO. I write 5 lines. I'll take a backup. Tomorrow again I'll open a same file. I will add more 10 lines. I'll take a backup. So that is what do I call it as? A short-term storage. Today I'm taking a short storage of 5 lines. Tomorrow again I'm taking a short storage of those added 10 lines. Again, day after tomorrow, I'll take a short storage of the remaining lines. So this short-term storage is not there if it is archive. It is once long-term storage. That is, once you have made a copy, it will be for long-term. Backups are usually stored as blocks to facilitate the recovery of large amount of data at one time. Now, what is this blocks? This is nothing but your repository. So even if you take a backup, your backup will be stored it into a repository in a form of a blocks. So whenever you retrieve that repository, your data will be retrieved in an organized way in a form of a block. So whenever you open that block, you can access whatever files, folders or the directories that you have backed inside the system. The same applies for your archive also, but we do not know whether the archive is in the block format or not. We just know that it is in the repository, some organized way, and whenever it is asked, it will be given. But in backup, we know that that organized way is in the form of blocks, but we do not know what is the organized way of the repository. Okay. Archive data is not a copy. It is rather an inactive data which is rarely altered. Rarely altered means it is rarely changed, not as frequently as your backup. And it is retained for a longer period of time. So your backup is short-term storage of the data, whereas your archive is a long-term storage. Rather than stored in a blocks, archive data is usually stored as a file or object that can be stored with a metadata. Now, what is metadata? It is a data of data. That means I have taken an archive of all the X employees. Again, I can archive the same X employees into some another location or some another drive also. So that is what is called as metadata. Copying the same data or making a data of data is called as metadata. So I can have multiple copies of my backup as well as multiple copies of my archive. But see to it, every time the location or the devices should be different. Because if you keep on storing and relocating into the same drive, and if that only drive goes corrupted, so there is no use of backup as well as there is no use of your archive. Clear? Now, what is the difference First backup says it enables a rapid recovery of live changing data. Why live changing data? Because it keeps on changing frequently, whereas your archive is unchanging data or an inactive data which is no longer in use, but it is retained somewhere inside your system. One of multiple copies of data, usually only remaining copy of a data. One of multiple means I can have multiple copies of backup. It is not that I cannot have multiple copies of archive, but it is preferred not to make multiple copies of archive. Why? Because we do not access it more recently. It is accessed once in a while and it is very long term. So we generally do not make multiple copies. We preserve only one copy of a data. Restore speed is crucial. Restore or retrieval speed is not crucial. Why restoring has to be crucial? Because I am using that data every now and then. So if I do not get it restored at a immediate time, it is going to affect my original copies of the data. Whereas if archive, if it takes 2 to 3 days to retrieve, it doesn't matter. Whereas my backup has to be retrieved at that immediate basis or at immediate purpose. Short-term retention, retained for as long as the data is in active use. Long-term retention, retained for required period or indefinitely, which means what? I am taking a data on a short-term basis. Short-term basis means the regular basis. Taking 5 lines today, 10 lines tomorrow, again remaining lines tomorrow. So what is happening? The retention period should be very fast and it should be always active in use. Why active in use is because I'm taking the data or I'm copying the data which is live, which I'm going to use on everyday basis. Why the same is not applicable in archive? Because it is long term. I am not going to use it on my live basis. Neither I am making a live copy of a data. So the retention is long term period, whereas here the retention is very short term period. Duplicate copies are periodically overwritten. Data cannot be altered or deleted. Now, what example did I give you for archive? I'm keeping an archive of all the ex-employees. Can I delete those data? No. Because if somewhere in a future, if anybody asks or if that person has joined a new company and if the query has come from that new company to me, I always can check the record if I have or if I have archived it. But if I have deleted that record of that person, can I give any kind of information to that new company? No. So I cannot even change that person's data, neither I can delete that person's data. Whereas in the backup, if I have made a duplicate copy, I can always change the data from my original one as well as I can delete it from the original one. That means what? In backup, I can perform or I can do trial and error with the data, assuming that I have made a backup of it and I can restore even if something goes wrong in that trial error method. Whereas if it is archive, I cannot play with any kind of a data unless and until I have metadata it. Which means what? अगर archive का मैंने multiple copies बनाया है, तो अगर मैंने कोई भी एक फाइल में से उसका data delete या alter भी किया, तो भी I can retrieve it from the multiple copies. But generally, as I told that we do not make the multiple copies, therefore we do not alter or delete. Whereas in backup, I have many copies made, so I can play with any of the copies, assuming that I can retrieve from any of the other copy. Okay. Then what is the data storage method? The original data remains in place while the backup is stored in some another location. So if I have made a copy of the C drive, I will make it in either D drive, which is a different location, or I will store it into some external devices. So the location is entirely different. Archive data is moved from its original location to an archived storage location. So you have a separate archived folder or an archive directory created for these archived data. So whenever you want to search, you do not have to remember कि मैंने उसको D में copy किया था या F में copy किया था या कौन से pen drive में copy किया था. I just have to check that archive directory or an archive folder. I will automatically get all the archive data into that directory or that folder only. Data state, backup data is constantly changing. So this data is live data, so it keeps on changing. Whereas this data does not change. Why? Because you cannot alter or you cannot delete. Once if it is prepared, you're going to preserve that copy as it is for years. Data retention policy. You periodically delete or override the data backups that are too old to be useful. That means you keep on changing the data, or even if you change, you can retain the same type of a data. Data archiving are designed for long-term storage. So this point is similar to this retention one, the short-term period and the long-term period retention. Then storage type, here you have hot cloud storage, whereas here you have a cold cloud storage. Now, what is the difference between a hot cloud storage and a cold cloud storage? Hot cloud storage or easily accessible local storage locations. That means nowadays we have a drive as a cloud storage. Now, if you are accessing your drive daily, or if you are keeping a storage everything onto your drive, that is your Google Drive, we can consider it as a hot cloud storage. But if suppose you have multiple logins into your drive, and you are using, or you are not logging into one drive regularly, so I call it that type as a cold storage. Or it can be some kind of a tapes or a tape archives. Now, what is this tape archives? I have made one hard disk, or I have used one hard disk where I have copied all the entire archive folder there. Now, it is not necessary that every time I will be using that hard disk. Whenever I want, I will insert that hard disk into the system and I'll use it. But if it is hot cloud storage, what did I say? You have stored everything into your drive. So once you log in into your Google, it is assumed that you have logged in into your drive also. Why? Because it is a part of your Google. It is a part of your Gmail. So अगर आपने Gmail में log in किया है, तो you have logged in inside the drive also. So every time you log in, those many times it is creating an entry into your drive also. That means it is regular. बार बार होते रहता है, and you are accessing repeatedly the number of times you log in. Whereas what is happening in archive, I have packed it in a hard disk, and I'm not opening that hard disk in the regular basis. So cold cloud is what? I have stored it in some place, and it is not getting accessed on a daily basis. Whereas hot cloud is what? I have created a data and I've stored it somewhere, and I'm accessing it on a daily basis, maybe multiple times in a single day. Okay. So that is what is hot cloud storage and a cold cloud storage. So this was the backup of your, what you mean by backup and difference between backup and archive. Is it clear up till here? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us go to the next topic, that is archive storage options. Now for backup storage options, I have multiple storage. Pen drive है, CD है, DVDs है, आपका खुद का internal storage है, cloud storage है, drive का storage है. But what are the options if it is archive storage? Archive storage मतलब non-accessible और inactive data को अगर मुझे store करना है, so what are the things or what are the medias where I can store those active storage? What do we have? We have tapes, we have disk, and we have cloud. If you remember in CO, we had done a memory hierarchy. We have magnetic tapes, we have secondary memory, main memory, then secondary memory, and then we have clouds and all. So wo jo magnetic tapes tha, which used to look like your cassettes of your radios. So such type of tapes which were used very previously when we did not had this hard disk or CDs or DVDs or floppy disk. At those times, the only first media which was used for storing was tape. So I can use those tapes also for storing my archive data. But if I store it, again, the format can be anything. It supports all kind of format. But what is the advantages is that it is low in cost. That means those tapes were low of cost. So, but as well as the size or the storage size or the capacity will be less as compared to your disk and cloud. So we generally do not use tapes. We have shifted to disks. What are those disks? Are hard disk. Okay, we can store our data in the hard disk. How you can store a backup? We can have our archive data in our hard disk also. What is the advantage of using hard disk over a tape? We get more storage, and the data access rate, that means the rate with which the data is accessed, is also more as compared to that with your tapes. Then next is we can also store it on some cloud. That is your cloud storage. It is a favorable archival option because it can be easily scaled and removes the cost of hardware, power, and cooling. What was happening in tape and disk? This both are hardware. So I have to invest something extra to buy those tapes and disk. Whereas I have to invest in cloud also. That means I have to pay some amount to the cloud storage if I am purchasing those cloud storage. If it is free of cost like our Somaya IDs, then I do not have to pay neither for the storage, neither for any of the hardware. Now there's something called as easily scalable. Now what is this easily scalable is, you can always see, for us, for SOMAP users, we have unlimited access. But if you use your personal Gmail account and the drive of it, we get only 15 GB of storage. So if you want to increase that storage, you can easily scale. That means you can easily increase by paying some amount to the Google. So when you pay, you get some amount of storage. Now that amount is, I think, if I'm not wrong, it is 1,300 or 1,500. So per year. So if you pay that much, you get some amount of space. So it is not that 15 GB is fixed. You can always scale. That means you can always increase that storage amount by paying some extra fees to it. If you are using your personal, if you are using our Somaya account, it is totally free. So if you want to store any archival storage, that means even if you are choosing a cloud and if your data is more than 15 GB, you can easily scale by paying some amount and increasing that storage space. Okay, so you have three mediums or three ways or media on which your archive data can be stored. You can use tape, you can use disk, you can use cloud. The disadvantage of using a tape is the space is less and the data access rate is also less. If you use disk over tape, you get little more storage and the data access is also good. But again, there is a limit of a storage. You will not get more amount of storage. But if it is cloud, again, it is restricted to 15 GB, but you can always scale by paying more amount, and then you can also increase it to unlimited, which you will not get an option in disk or in the tape. Okay. Now, even if it is backup, your backup can be stored on tape, disk, as well as cloud. So there is no change in the storage option if it is a backup data or if it is a archive data. Now next is, what are the qualities of good backup? That means now we just have studied up till now ke backup kya hai, on which media we can take a backup. But before doing a backup, we should know that what are the qualities or how or what should be followed in order to make our backup a good backup. First is the storage space. Now what do you mean by storage space? The amount, if you have 500 GB of a data and if you try to store it in a 2 GB of storage space, is it possible? No. Why? Because the amount you're trying to store is more than the storage media that you have. So we should always check that what is the size of our storage and how much space do we have where I'm going to copy that or where I'm going to make that backup. Always the storage media or the space in which you are copying should be more than the amount of backup you are taking. Then only it is considered to be as a practice of a good backup. Or you may think, today I will store this much, tomorrow I will check if I can delete something and I'll make space and I'll do that. You can have many such options कि मैं कुछ तो थोड़ा delete करके उसमें refill कर दूं, थोड़ा space बना के, या आधा ये CD में copy करूं, आधा वो CD में copy करूं. But this is not a good practice. Every time when you take a backup, see to it that entire copy is made it in one location only. It should not be broken up into multiple locations. Whatever you copy, exact copy of that one should be made into another one as it is. It should never be broken down. Next is, look for scalable storage. Scalable storage means what? As it is backup, it is live, it will always keep on updating. So today, if I have decided that my data is only of 200 GB and I have a space of 1 TB, so which is more than enough. So today, for now, as of now, it is 1 TB. My data is 200 GB, तो मुझे बराबर है मेरा backup, I can take it. But it might happen that tomorrow your data keeps on increasing. Why? Because backup is what every day it keeps on updating. So that you should have some procedure, or you should have thought of some ideas where you can always scale that 1 TB. For now, for you, it may be sufficient, but as your data will increase, you also have to simultaneously increase your storage space. So see to it that your storage space should be scalable. Scalable means it should be increased depending upon the increasing of your data. Therefore, generally, if you see nowadays, since from when we have started using this cloud, nobody takes backup in the tape and the disk. Every time the backup is on the cloud. Why? Because scaling a cloud or scaling a cloud storage is always easy as compared to scaling your tapes and disk. Okay. Next is high availability. What is high availability? If at all today suddenly your system has crashed and you want to recover the data on a very urgent basis, So what should happen is the data which you have backup should be available at the time when you require it. So if you have stored it in some hard disk or in some tape, you are in the office, your hard disk is at home. So is it possible to every time rush at your home and get the data back? No. So if you have stored it in the cloud, what is going to happen? It is every time available, anytime, whenever you want. That is what is called as high availability. So when is this high availability possible? Only if your data is on the online storage. And how is that online storage possible? Through the cloud, which can be accessed anytime from anywhere. The next is disaster recovery. What is disaster recovery? I have a file called as ABC in C drive. I have copied a same file ABC into DNE also, as well as I have copied it into my pen drive, as well as I have copied it into my hard disk. So what is going to happen? C drive crashed. Okay, अगर ड्राइव क्रैश हो गया तो DE भी जानना ही है. तो दैट मीन्स आई कैन नॉट टेक अ बैकअप ऑफ द फाइल ABC फ्रॉम माई D एंड E ड्राइव, है ना. मैंने C में मेरा ओरिजिनल था, D से आई कैन नॉट रिस्टोर इट, E से भी आई कैन नॉट रिस्टोर इट. क्यों? क्योंकि हार्ड डिस्क की करप्ट हो गया. बट आई हैड ऑल्सो स्टोर्ड इट इन टू माई पेन ड्राइव, so I can recover it from pen drive also. Suppose if that pen drive while inserting got damaged or happened something to that pen drive, I also have stored it into my hard disk, so I can also recover it from my hard disk. So that is what is called as disaster recovery. Why is that disaster recovery possible? Because of multiple places the same data, multiple location the same data is getting stored, or you have taken multiple copies of a backup. So if you have made a multiple copies, you can always recover from any such kind of disaster by retrieving from any of these multiple location. अगर मैंने C से सिर्फ D में ही कॉपी किया रहता और अगर हार्ड डिस्क चला गया, मेरा क्रैश हो गया, तो कैन आई रिकवर इट फ्रॉम एनीवेयर? नो. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई हैव नॉट मेड अ मल्टीपल कॉपी. आई हैड मेड only a single copy which was from C to D. Now entire C has also gone, D has also gone, which means I have lost my data permanently and I have to remake it. So that is what is called as disaster, when it is a remaking of entire data. So how can you recover from that disaster? By making multiple copies of same data at different location. Okay. Next is backup security. What do you mean by backup security? Since you are protecting your data, original data is protected by your passwords, your file password, or it can be encrypted by using some algorithms. So similarly, you also have to secure your backup data also. So how is your backup data secured? Same way the original data is secured. Either you use password for your system, or you use password for that particular file, or you encrypt the file by using any algorithms, or you encrypt it by using that hash keys. So there are multiple ways and multiple algorithms from which you can provide a security to your original data, and same security can be applied to your backup data also. But if your original data is secured, see to it that your backup also. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where were we? Schedule, backup, and frequency. What does this mean? That how frequently do you take a backup? Now, backup can be taken on daily basis. It can be done on weekly basis. It can be done on monthly basis, or it can be quarterly basis, or it can be yearly basis. So that is.
Ma'am, the PPT is not visible.
Oh, sorry. Visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next quality of a good backup was frequency. So now we have frequency, which is daily, which is weekly, which is monthly, quarterly, and which is yearly. So now it depends upon what kind of data we have. But those frequency is different if the data is of the exam section. So the frequency of your backup depends upon what type of data it is. Okay, so if it is a server kind of a data, or if it's, for example, your exam kind of a data, so we may take it on daily, weekly, or monthly basis. But if it is our personal data, we may decide 6 months or in a year, something like that. Okay, so the frequency always depends upon how important your data is. Then next is a volume. What do you mean by volume? That is how large your data is. That is nothing but the volume. So if you take a backup on a daily basis, your volume will reduce. If you take a backup on monthly basis, still your volume will reduce as compared to your quarterly. If you take yearly, your volume will be too large. So this, your volume has a direct connection with the frequency. So the depending on the frequency, you decide, sorry, depending upon the type of a data, you decide the frequency, and then you decide the volume. Okay, so if you take regularly, तो आपका volume of the data will always reduce. If you take yearly, the volume of a data will be too large. So उतना time your backup will be taking to make that backup. अगर रोज का रोज लेते हो तो your backup might be completed in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. But if you do it in a year, it might take 3 to 4 hours, again depending upon how much is your data. So depending on the volume and what type of data it is, you have to decide that what is the frequency and how you are supposed to take a backup. Next is the coverage. What do you mean by coverage? That what all I am taking a backup of. For some people it might be entire backup. That is how I said it is a full backup. जो है सबका पूरा का पूरा backup ले लो. That is I am covering 100%. But it might happen that if I have completed my diploma and I've gone to degree, I don't require any of my diploma files, or those experiments is no longer required. So why to unnecessary waste my storage space by taking a backup of those data also? So I'm not covering 100% of our data, but I'm leaving 50% of our data behind, assuming that 50% will never be used. So I might delete that data, or I may archive that data. So that is the option. So coverage is how much amount of data or what all backup you are taking. If you want everything, it is covering 100%. But if you want to delete some of the files, you can delete and take only the data which is required into the backup. That is what is called as coverage. But if it is a server data, it has to be 100% coverage, because if it is a server, you never know that what data can be accessed or can be asked or can be retrieved at any particular time. Next is separation. What do you mean by separation? Separation is nothing but having multiple copies but in different location. That is what is separation. Separation is separate of with respect to separation in location. If you're taking a backup, you cannot take a backup of a same file in a same location. अगर desktop पे ही file है तो उसका backup भी desktop पे ही रखना is not a good quality. It should be in some different location, or it should be separated from your original location. That is what is called as separation. Last is testing. Now what do you mean by testing? If you have taken a backup, you cannot assume कि जब भी मुझे चाहिए रहेगा वो as it is मुझे मिल जाएगा. You always have to keep on testing that backup. How will you test? You will open and see. You will, if there are some programs, you will run and check whether they are giving me the same output as the desired ones were giving me. That is what is called as testing. So once you have taken a backup, and you cannot assume कि वो वैसा ही रहेगा अगर मैं 10 साल बाद भी execute करूंगी तो. There might be some changes that will be happen. So you always have to keep testing your backup data along with the testing of your original data. So these are the qualities that you have to remember before you take a backup of your information inside the system. Okay, is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what we have covered today is, we have seen what is backup, we have seen what is archive, we have seen the difference between both, we have seen what are the media on which we can store our archive. Same medias can be used for storing the backup. We have seen what are the qualities of the good backup. we have seen that backup can be done either manually, which is the copy paste method, and the backup can be also be taken automatically by using some tools or commands. Okay, so the next topic is how are the steps, or what are the steps that has to be performed while taking a backup. So we can take a backup in Linux by using certain commands. What are those commands? The commands are same for Unix and Linux. First is tar command, TAR. Then we have UFS dump command. Next is only dump command. Then next is DD command. Then next is CPIO command. And after the backup is taken, how are we supposed to restore? By using a restore command. Okay. So this star, UFS dump, DD and CPIO are the commands used to take a backup. And once the backup is taken, and if the original data is lost, we can recover our data from these backup taken by using the command restore. Okay. So first we'll see Linux CP command. Okay. Now CP is nothing but it stands for copy. CP stands for copy. Okay. So what are we doing in a backup? We are copying. What are we copying? We are copying original data from some location to another location. Okay. So how can we do that? We can do that in Linux, copying from one location to another location by using a command called as CP. Okay. So what is it written? If a file that you want to copy already exists in a destination directory, you can back up your existing file with the use of this command. So what I'm doing in this is actually not a good practice, but we can do this. What did I say? Whenever you take a backup, see to it that it has a quality called as separation. What is that separation? It has to be in a different location. But this doesn't mean that it will not allow you to store in the original place. If my data is on the desktop, good practice is to store it in D drive, F drive, or my pen drive. But this doesn't mean that it will not allow me to make a copy on my desktop also. It will allow me to make it on the desktop, but since it is not a good practice, therefore I am storing it into a different location. So what are we seeing over here is, by using this command, I have a original file called as file2 in the location home SSSIT downloads. And again, I am making a copy of a same file in the same location. That means my file 2 is in the downloads. Again, I'm making a copy of a same file 2 in the download. How can I do this? I can do this by using a command CP, that is copy, make a backup of it with the file name and the destination directory. That means my file with a name file 2 will be copied as a backup in which directory? In this destination directory. So when I write cp backup file2.txt/home/ssit/download, what does this command do? It is copying the file 2 and making a backup with the same name file 2 and storing it into a directory or a destination or a place called as home/ssit/downloads. That means my original file with a name file 2 is also in downloads. My backup file with a file 2 name is also in the same location. Okay, so Linux allows you to copy a file with the same name, make a backup also of it with the same name, and both at the same place. Okay, and how do you do that is by using this command. So cp copy the file 2, make a backup of that file 2, that is file2.txt, and store it at the location home SSIT downloads. Okay, now see, if you see this command, what is this ls_l? It is listing. Okay, ls_l command is used to list all the files which are there inside the system. So when I do ls.l, what it is listing? All the files. How many files do I have? I have file 2. Assuming I have only one file. Okay, so my original file is named file 2. What am I doing? cd change the directory to home SSIT desktop. Why? Because I want it to be stored in this particular location. Even if I do not do this, it is okay. Even if I don't change the directory and directly execute this command, it is okay. But what I have done is I have changed it to that directory, that is home.desktop /home/ssit/desktop. Now I'm making a copy as a backup of a same file, file 2. So copy backup file2.txt/home/ssit/downloads. Okay. So I have made a backup of file 2. I have an original file with a name file 2. Now when I do ls-l, that is when I list now, I'll get two files. Can you see that file 2, file 2? both at the same location. Okay, that is your downloads location. But one is having file2.txt and another is having file2.txt with a tilde. Can you see this tilde? So what is this? The first file without tilde is the original file. The second file with the tilde is a backup file. Okay, so you can have two files. One is original, one is backup, both with the same name and at the same location downloads. Okay, so this is how you can copy manually or by using a command from one location to another, from of one same file inside the same location. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we have done is we have used a command cp with a backup option, given a file name to copy that file in the same location where I had my original file. Now, if I want to change it to some another location, what change will I do here is cp backup file2 /home/etc/xyz. So what I have done is I have changed my location. My original file was somewhere else. Now my backup file 2 will be at the location /home/etc or whatever path I give over here. Okay, so you can copy into some different location also. And what change will be there in the command is you just have to change the path over here. What will that path be where you want to now make a new copy of a file? So your original will be in the downloads and your copied or a backup file will be in some different location, and that location will be the location which you provide over here. Okay. Now next is you can use a cp command with an -p. Now what does that p stands for? It stands for properties or preserving the properties. The cp command, when used with -p option, is used to preserve the properties and attributes of the file. Now if you remember in the OS chapter we had done attributes of the file. What are the attributes? Read, what are the permission, date of the file, name of the file. These are nothing but the attributes, size of the file. So if you want to preserve the properties of an attributes, you can preserve that by using this option p, -p with a cp command. So let us look at the example. cp-p file name destination directory. So cp-p file2.txt, store it in which location? User. So my original might be in downloads. Now my backup is in the user. File name is file2, same, but I have used with -p. So if you see over here, when I do ls-l file2.txt, when I execute this command, what it will do give me all the properties of file 2, original file. It has permission, read write, read, to ssit 0 May 25 14 13 with a file name file2.txt. After this, what I have done is I have used a command cp-p file2.txt user. Now my backup is in the location user with the file name file2, but it has same properties with that of this file 2. So when I execute this, I will get a blank space. That means it has executed properly. All the properties are copied. Now if I want to check the properties, how do I check? ls-l user /file2. I have checked the properties of original file with this command. Now I will check the properties of the backup file with this command. Why I have used user over here? Because this file 2 is in which directory now? It is in the user directory. So if you see rwrwr, this is nothing but the number that will get changed because both the files will have two different numbers. ssit 0 May 25 16 13 file2.txt. Apart from this number, all the properties are copied as it is. Your time and date is also copied as it is. Even if you might have executed this in December or January or any other date, but since you have used this -p, what it will do, apart from this inode number of the file, all other details will be copied as it is. Okay, so if you want to preserve the properties of the original file and give the same properties to your backup file also, you can do that by using a command cp-p. Okay, so what is that -p going to do? It will copy the properties of original file and give it to the new backup file, which is created either in the same location or in some different location. But what will get changed is it will just change the inode numbers. Is this clear? if we do not use CP hyphen, just a second, what was that question? If we do not use CP hyphen P, properties are not preserved. Properties are not preserved means preserve नहीं होगा, properties change हो जाएंगे. अगर मैंने ये P use नहीं किया, मतलब let us assume this command. ये कमांड अज्यूम करते हैं. इसमें मैंने क्या किया, फाइल 2 का बैकअप लिया सेम लोकेशन पे. ओके, तो अभी इसमें देखोगे, सो द प्रॉपर्टीज आर डिफरेंट. RWR सेम है, ये दिस माइट चेंज. आइनोड नंबर सेम है, दिस इज सेम, दिस इज सेम, दिस इज सेम. बट इफ यू लुक एट द टाइम, फाइल 2 ओरिजिनल कोई और डेट पे और टाइम पे है, बैकअप कोई और डेट कोई और टाइम पे है. अभी दिस माइट बी टेकन ऑन द सेम डेट, देयरफॉर इट इज गिविंग. बट इफ यू डू नॉट यूज हाइफन P, your file type, that is your inode numbers will change. Second, the time and the date will also change. That is what is there with hyphen P and not without hyphen P. Siddesh, did you understood this? Properties दोनों की preserve होगी. Hyphen P is not preserving the properties, it is copying the properties. But अगर hyphen P use नहीं भी किया, तो respective files का जो अपना अपना properties है वो दिखाएगा. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So is this understood up till here? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So from tar command we'll be continuing tomorrow. So we have seen today backup, archive, difference in backup and archive. What are the steps or qualities of performing a good backup? And we have seen one command which is used to take a backup. That is the CP copy command. Is this clear up till here, everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me your attendance. 1 minute. Start giving your attendance. Meet,
Yes, ma'am.
Nikunj,